Hey,
Yes.
man, and that is, man, you deserve every last bit of that, man. We appreciate you and all the
Oh, I
hard work
appreciate
that you're
it.
putting in.
Absolutely.
Thank
So
you.
salute to you,
Absolutely.
brother.
Salute
I
to
appreciate
you.
it.
AJ, listen, let's get right to it. For the people who may not know who you are, you come from the rough streets of St. Louis. Give us a
And
little
it's
bit,
rough out there too, brother.
yes. Give people a
Yeah.
little bit of just, the short version of your background and your journey, and we'll pick it up later. But we want people to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, no, one, I appreciate y'all having me here, but yeah, AJ McQueen, I grew up West Side St. Louis, so born and raised in St. Louis, and like many of us, in our communities, I've experienced uh, poverty, just growing up in the hood, all that type of stuff. But mine also came with just with abuse, and it came with joining the gang. I joined the gang when I was 12. I got shot when I was 15, and I met God on my back, and I really had to. That's where I found myself. I found myself by almost losing myself, and
Mm.
my mom made a decision to send me away, what I mean, and that was the best decision she ever made. And
Yeah.
throughout high school, I stayed with like six different families, and that's where I was able to find myself. What I mean, I found my gift of writing because that's all I had. My gift of music. That's all I had to my name. I would write down my thoughts, and years later, I got called to be on BET 106 in Park when I was 19, and
Dope.
they created a teen violence special off of my story. What I mean? So they created the whole show around me getting shot, me joining the gang, getting shot, and changing my life because they wanted to use that episode to inspire other youth to change their life as well.
Mm.
And that's what put me into where I'm at now. All these years later, that's how I know that was God's doing. Put me in that space, and since then I've been awarded by the White House, the Service Achievement Award. I've written a book, traveled the country, releasing albums, starting companies. I've been an activist, I've been a poet, and I like to consider myself a revolutionary for sure because I believe that what I say creates worlds, and that's why
Yes.
I'm very conscious of the things I say. So,
Yes.
Man, y'all give it up for
Yes.
this young.
Y'all
Y'all
give
give
it
it up for that.
up.
First of all, so I want to
Yes.
ask you something before we get into it real quick. You named a bunch of titles, right? Of all the titles that you hold, which one you hold dearest to your heart?
a writer.
Writer.
I feel like writing is something that has always been near and dear to my heart. It's been my escape. When I had nothing else, I had a pen, and I had whether it was a piece of paper, whether it was ripped off from something or whatever, I could always write, and that's something that I don't need nobody else to do. And so at my core, I'm a writer. I'm a thinker, of course, and I'm a philosopher. But that writing has always been my claim to fame, and I believe that a lot of people want to be the greatest rapper and artist. I want to be known as one of the greatest writers of all time, for sure.
Makes
Wow.
sense. I like that.
I love it. I love it. Tell us a little bit about Godbody Energy record label.
Yeah, yeah. So, God body started as just my personal mantra. I got God body tatted across my stomach, and it's just God being in my body. What I mean, being the body of God. And it's not even anything religious. More so, it's just something. I'm a very spiritual individual. So, it started off as just my personal mantra, and then the music I created, people would say, "Man, you make God music. You make God music," because my music is about life. It's about
Yep.
healing. It's about
Mm-hmm.
what I mean, love. It's just all the elements, all the things that God made. So people would always say, "Man, you make God music. You make God music." So I just decided to take my personal mantra, my personal intentions, and make it an entity in itself. And that's how we got God body energy. God being in my body, and that's what gives me the energy. And then the music that comes outside of that, the things that I put out. Is God body. So it's similar to like Bob Marley. You got reggae or like Rastafari. Like it's become its own genre, its own thing now, and
Yeah.
now it's all over the world. There's people all over the country with God body tattoos, shirts, hats, and I've never met them before.
Wow.
So
It's a
I want to
movement.
say thank you for the courage to even be in a movement with a God body title. In a day like today, it's tough to get that kind of music across. It's kind of tough to get the industry to buy into it and the public to buy into it. So when you can get into that lane and find your own niche, I respect it and appreciate it because I really love the fact that you are God, man. So I wish you much
Thanks.
success, man. I really appreciate
I appreciate
Absolutely.
it, brother.
it. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
AJ, the writer's block. We heard it. It was like, a big deal down there in Houston. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, writer's block similar to Godbody, started off as just my personal, just the way I express myself. I remember one day I was writing, and I had experienced writer's block, but at the same time I was reading this book called The Power of Words, and it just talked about how we that our words create our world. So instead of saying you have something, say that you own something, or say it in a different way to where you can decide what to do with it. Because words are
I like
spells.
that.
That's why it's called spelling bee, spelling words. Words are just spells. You know what I mean? And so sometimes we speak spells over ourselves, and we got to undo that spell, right? So I started saying, like, instead of having writer's block, I own writer's block. Like, it's my block to have. And then next thing you know, I started like doing an event, and it just created its own community to where now I started writer's block in 2013. It's now 2024, and we used the events as a community initiative, and through and I turned Writers Block into a nonprofit organization, a 501c3. So, and through that, I've given out backpacks annually, turkeys annually, toys annually. We just did a sock and shoe drive for the homeless, and I used that to create a hub for artists, and then we take the same artists to the community to help the people. So.
I love
I
that.
love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we
Love
gotta
it.
cut it short. We gotta get ready. We're
Me a
running out of
famous
time. But
question, 'cause
before we go, I
And
gotta
he's on
ask.
tour. We got to talk about him being
All
on
right.
tour.
So before
And
we
his
let
new
you
song.
go, I want you to shout out your new song. Tell them about your tour. But I gotta ask the question. You got 1 hour. You just signed a major check. You feeling good. You got one artist you can listen to. You can't take them out. It could be a group or it can be an artist. Who you listening to? You feeling great.
Bob Marley.
Yes.
Give it up for that. Let me
That's
tell you.
one of your favorites.
So, man, did you see the movie? Did you see Bob Marley, the new movie?
Not yet.
You gotta go see it, bro.
I'm gonna tell you why. I have to be able to take in everything, and I've been so around the world that I can't be partial with something that's so great. So, but I plan.
I respect that because let me tell you something, man. When I say a fan, I'm a humongous Bob Marley fan, and so when you said that, I get it, right? Because I don't even think people understand what Bob Marley brought to music, or the man who he is behind the music or inside of the music.
Exactly.
I don't know. You have to really be in tune to understand.
You got to
Bob
be in
Marley.
tune. Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate my music is definitely inspired by Bob Marley, Tupac, Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu,
The
Common,
greats.
all those things. You know what I mean?
The great
If you listen to
lyricists.
my music, you put those together. That's because that's who influenced me. Growing up. So.
AJ,
love
can
it.
we talk really quickly about your tour that's going on right now? Because Stan and I would love to see you in person.
Yes.
I
And
would love to be out of come.
we're in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, and I know you don't have anything on schedule yet for this area, but you do have something hopefully in Atlanta. Tell us about the tour and your new album.
And then we'll wrap.
I got you. Sorry, Mom, I was distracted is the name of my album, and the tour is Sorry, Mom, I was on tour. So and it's just me going to these different cities, touching the energy, reaching the people, and everything like that. This album they call it a classic. The album is about my story, and like I said, I would love for anybody to come on tour, see me in those cities, and experience my energy live in person. Because this is me. Like, this ain't no gimmick. Like, this is really my life. And so we just put it into the album, and then we take it on the road. And any city y'all want to come to, let me know. Make sure my team take care of y'all. And the DMV have been reaching out, so we may have DMV on the tour soon.
Okay, can you tell us? Do you know yet your date for the Atlanta stop yet? Because I know you hadn't.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
not yet. Yeah.
Okay.
We working on that as well. So.
Okay.
Say
Give
less.
out your information so people can know how to follow you and get your music, and we will wrap up after that.
Yeah, just AJ McQueen on all platforms. Instagram, AJ McQueen. All of you type of AJ McQueen or anything. There's only one of them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? And that's my real name too. Like, I had somebody ask me, is that like
Is
a
that your
fake
stage
name?
name? Yeah. It
That's
sound like a
his
stage
real
name.
name.
Yeah,
So
I know, right? It's crazy. That was my dad's name. Rest in peace to him. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So he left me with his name, and I'm gonna make sure I do it. I do him proud.
All
Hey,
right,
and
y'all.
So you doing just that, brother. You
AJ
doing all us proud.
McQueen
Y'all
on
give it up for
all
my man, man.
streaming
AJ McQueen in the
platforms.
building.
Spotlight family.
family.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
AJ, thank you so much. We will be right back, you all, with Laura Foos.
Yes, indeed. Spotlight over the city, baby.
Don't cuss